alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I want to play a game.
Hello and welcome to the Sound from the Grave podcast. My name is Yussef.
And my name is Vania.
And I'm Kyle.
And not every movie needs a post-credit scene.
Yes, it does. Is this a Marvel movie?
No.
It's a Marvel movie. This is a Marvel podcast, buddy.
Oh God.
It's a Marvel podcast.
I don't know
What have we
another
turned
quote
into?
you could use. Who gives a fuck about a movie?
Who gives a fuck about a movie? So, we are back after literally a month of no activity. We've just been extremely busy.
Yeah.
All three of us have just been busy. Like, our schedules haven't matched up. Like, I just got
It was
It was wild.
yeah, it was an unplanned hiatus.
Yeah, because like I started a new job and I was still getting used to that schedule. A certain someone got married.
Hi, how are you? Hi, guys. I got married.
Wow. Everybody say congrats to V.
Everybody say
And
congrats and to V and Nick. You guys may not see it, but I'm holding a knife. If you're not watching the YouTube video, I'm holding a knife to your throats right now. Say congratulations.
Thank you to whoever feels threatened by you.
Me,
Guys,
the least threatening person in the world.
The least threatened person in the world. He's literally the golden retriever boyfriend. It's okay. Like, it's fine.
So much so that
Hey, by the way, speaking of, Yussef caught the garter. Oh my god, y'all should totally date him.
You said golden retriever. I
I'm
said
taken,
it was
I'm
fetch.
married, and all we need is a Yussef to get a honey bun.
Yussef caught the garter.
I got the
Nice.
garter.
He
Hell
did.
yeah.
He did.
He was like, huh, single ladies, lol. I'm just gonna catch the garter.
Don't feel bad. One time I was single and I caught a bouquet and I started crying and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
No, I was literally like, what happens next? I don't know.
Tender swipe like crazy.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, we don't care about that. But regardless, hi.
Yeah.
We're
So,
back.
we're back. We're going to be
Kyle
playing
has also been working a lot, so
Yeah.
please congratulate Kyle for
on
working.
being an
For
amazing...
tolerating everybody's shit in spring break. That's another thing.
And Grad Bash.
And Grab Bash.
For being an exemplary Universal team member.
That's right.
All the code. Geez, I forgot what the code. I forgot what the code for condom. But I know that code V is vomit. That whatever.
Code 5 is the protein spill.
Yeah, I don't know. Disney calls them protein spills too.
Yep.
But yeah, we're back. We are going to be playing kind of catch up because I know there's a lot of stuff that's been coming out, a lot of stuff that's been released that we haven't had a chance to discuss.
Stuff that got announced.
Stuff that got
just today.
announced.
So often that code violation.
Yes, they have a code violation.
I know.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, we're gonna start off today with a super late review of Scream 6. We're gonna try and catch up on like the other stuff that got released. I think like the other big one is Evil Dead Rise, like major release wise. That's been
Okay,
recent.
but Evil Dead Rise. I thought we were covering that.
I thought so too, but then Kyle reminded me we hadn't done Scream 6. I was like, yeah, that's right, we haven't done Scream 6. We got to do Scream 6.
I mean, I know that we were doing Scream 6, but I thought we were leaving Evil Dead Rise for the next.
So yeah, we're doing Scream 6 today. We're doing Evil Dead Rise the next episode.
Bomb. Anyways, erase, delete.
You know that's not gonna get deleted.
Anyway. Delete it. Don't be an asshole.
Fine. Anyway.
I'm suing.
You're suing?
I'm
Okay. Let me just kind of get back into the groove. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're playing catch up. There's a lot of stuff that's been released recently that we haven't had a chance to discuss yet, so super late review today of Scream 6. later on, we're going to be reviewing Evil Dead Rise. I haven't seen it yet, just because I've been busy. I might see it this weekend, but I haven't seen Renfield. I really want to see Renfield.
You haven't seen Renfield?
I am
I
behind.
haven't seen Renfield either.
No,
y'all got to go out and see Renfield.
I saw
ASAP.
Evil Dead Rise last weekend, and I saw Mario Brothers movie, which was amazing. I love Mario Brothers. It was,
Mario was great.
it was
Watch
such a
that
love
one.
letter to Nintendo, and I loved it.
Did you see the after credit scene?
Yes, I did. Are you kidding me? They're bringing
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters
Don't
in
spoil
the entire
it.
Nintendo lore to the big screen.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all we're saying because I know V hasn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen Super Mario.
Oh, you gotta see it. It's so cute.
I Renfield stuff.
I mean, I technically have it.
Oh, y'all both have to see Renfield.
Yeah, I need to see
torrent,
Renfield for sure.
Kind of bullshit, but you know.
You're sailing the high seas.
No one I gotta do that.
I see a Nick feet. See Nick's
Oh
feet.
no, Nick,
See
your,
Nick's feet.
your feet is big top 4K.
All the foot fetish people are going crazy right now.
I was like, I see Nick's
I hope Quentin Tarantino
Quentin Tarantino's rolling.
video.
To be fair, he stubbed his toe at Best Buy today, and I was like, "Do you want me to rub your
Aw.
feet for you?" I mean, if
my
I cut
God.
your foot fetish, I'm sorry, but
Ew.
Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about some stuff that's been announced recently and got released recently. Because I know we got to talk about the new spec map that dropped from Horror Nights Nightmares, but before we talk about that, I think
that one's
horror-wise,
interesting.
one of the big things that got announced is like we got an official release date for Saw 10. It's coming out October 23rd, if I'm not mistaken.
October 23rd. Yep.
It's gonna be officially called
So
Saw
fucking
10.
Dope.
So
We
now
got
it's
the
like,
first
so now they're
title
finally confirming that
sequence,
Spiral
yeah.
is considered Saw 9?
Maybe.
Because Jigsaw was supposed to be Saw 8,
Yeah.
and they're just jumping straight into Saw 10, so I'm assuming they just decided to call Spiral Saw 9.
Spiral was supposed to be from the book of Saw.
Which
It
was
wasn't
supposed to be a spin-off,
in the
which is what's so confusing.
Saw continuation, yeah.
So, I don't care. I'm just here to see Tobin Bell in a backwards hat and a hoodie.
Exactly.
You know, that's how I'm gonna go see that movie. We're all gonna pull up in
You
a
have
hoodie and a
to.
backwards hat.
You absolutely have to.
I'm just here for the gore porn.
But yeah,
I can't wait.
CinemaCon was
No,
great. All this stuff that got really got announced too, so
Yeah.
I'm really happy about
Uh,
that. I'm glad that we're like finally getting more confirmation and more news about Saw 10.
Yeah, well, yeah, Saw 10, Black Phone, a Black Phone sequel.
Which I'm
is
like,
being,
I don't know
or
how I
maybe
feel about
even
that.
a prequel. I don't know. Anyway, that got announced. Smile sequel got announced.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. The trailer for Voyage of the Demeter came out, which looks insanely
that's gonna be
good.
great.
Looks beautiful. I mean, it's Robert Eggers. What more can you expect?
Absolutely, that's my boy.
Yep. And Maxine finished filming, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Maxine's coming out later this year.
Yeah, but they already finished
I've seen
filming, I think, right?
Yeah, I've seen little behind the scenes of it. It looks great.
And the cast is stacked too. It's got a huge,
it's
really big stack,
fucking
like
stacked
cast.
to
Yeah,
hell and back.
I mean, it's got Kevin Bacon. They got somebody that
think-
sizzles.
I think we actually got full confirmation from a credible source about that whole Frankenstein or possible Frankenstein Monsters movie, the one that had that was supposed to have Oscar Isaacs in it.
Oh
and
yeah, that's
Andrew
right.
Garfield. Yeah, supposedly
Yes.
that got confirmed that's legit
Yep.
happening.
Finally.
Uh,
And also,
see what else
I guess kind of horror related, but also Marvel related, because I guess consider Blade to be like a Marvel horror character. But
Yeah.
Mia Goth is
but,
attached
Mia
to
Goth
Blade.
is in it.
She is going to be in Blade.
Mia Goth is attached to Blade.
So I'm like, oof, keep it coming.
It's
Mia
gonna
Goth
be
is a
interesting.
rising
Mia
star, and I
Goth
love
in
it.
Marvel. We love it. Mia
Loving
Goth
it.
stands here.
Mia Goth and Jenna Ortega right now are like the horror it
Exactly.
girls.
I don't know. I think. Well, speaking of Jenna Ortega, even though it hadn't been confirmed that she is in it, but it was talked about before that she was going to play the person. This has already been 100% confirmed. Even though I still say I'm never going to believe this until I'm in the theater.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Beetlejuice 2
that's
is
officially
finally
confirmed by WB.
And supposedly, rumor is Jenna Ortega is going to be playing Lydia's daughter.
Okay. Okay, I can see that.
I wonder if they would bring back Renona for Lydia.
I'm sure she, like, considering how popular she is because of Stranger Things, it'd be weird if they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, not just Stranger Things. You know, she does Yellow Jackets as well, and season 2's underway right now.
Oh, Winona Ryder's in there? I thought it was Christina Ricci.
Well, yeah. Christina Ricci, yeah.
Okay. And I
My
mean,
bad.
this is more of like
I
a.
got
This
my
is more.
Goth Girls mixed up.
This is more of just like a personal thing, but I would love to see Catherine O'Hara come back as well.
Oh, yeah,
Just because I love Catherine O'Hara, she's amazing.
be great. And I think they confirmed Michael Keaton was gonna come back as Beetlejuice.
I mean, it'd be weird if
Because-
it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Because I think it would just defeat Beetlejuice as a character.
But it's like, man, you think he could still do it like right now?
I definitely think he can still do it. I like that we're kind of like in the
God,
renaissance of like
it's gonna be
80s Keaton, because we're now
yeah.
getting Beetlejuice 2, and we're also going to get Keaton Batman back in the Flash.
Oh God,
I'm so excited for that.
Keaton Batman, I'm so fucking stoked.
I don't even care about the Flash. I'm just here for Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah, I'm not even like, I'm just gonna like close my eyes during all the Flash parts. Just watch all the I'm gonna try and make it as much of a Batman movie as I can. But that's what they're using to market it. So
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same thing they did with like the Spider-Man No Way Home, where they're like, oh yeah, look at all the old villains coming back.
yeah. Today, if you saw this one, this one's fucking wild. There's gonna be a horror version of It's a Wonderful Life coming out.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes,
A horror
a
version of It's a
horror
Wonderful
version
Life.
of It's a Wonderful Life.
It's
yeah,
it's a horrible
It just
life.
got, Pangoria and
Oh my
Bloody
God.
Disgusting.
That's
confirmed it
incredible.
today.
I am loving
Let me
that.
let me see if I can find it.
That's insanely cool. I love that because I wonder if it's still going to be like a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a horror take on the Christmas classic.
Oh, I love that
And
because you know I'm a sucker
Justin
for.
Long.
Oh my
Justin
God.
Long
Say
is
less.
the lead.
Say less.
Yep,
Sold.
I know, absolutely. My boy.
Like, it's got two of my favorite things. 'Cause I love Christmas themed horror movies, and I love Justin Long. So yes to both.
Yep.
Trying to think of like any other big news that have come out horror wise recently, but
I know I don't have any not horror wise, but
Mhm.
Vin Diesel announced at CinemaCon that Fast and the Furious
Kyle.
Fast 10 Part
Kyle.
2 comes out in
It's a horror
2025.
podcast.
family.
Family.
It's a
Nothing.
hor- it's
There's
a
nothing
horror
scarier.
podcast.
Listen, Vania. There's nothing scarier than family.
I'm an orphan.
There's nothing scarier than having to go
Oh,
through the ride.
I don't know how many people like are excited about it. Like I'm pretty stoked for it. In June, Boogeyman comes out, and that looks legit scary.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailers for that. I'm like, it looks cool.
Yeah, and then there's that A24 horror movie coming out.
Tell me, is it Talk to Me? I think it's called.
Talk to Me. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt kind of misleading with the trailer because like everybody in A24 was like, it's gonna be our scariest trailer ever. I was like, this is not a scary trailer.
It's really not that scary. Yeah.
Oh. I like how they used the A24 logo with like the hand like bending back and stuff. That was cool.
That was sick. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I think it's something I'm gonna have to watch with subtitles because I could barely understand what they said in the trailer because there's some really thick British accents in there, and they're also very very fast.
The David Gordon Green Exorcist finally has a release date, and its title is The Exorcist.
The Believer, right?
Believer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what he does with this. I mean, I personally really enjoyed what he did with the Halloween trilogy. I like how he kind of changed things up a little bit. Funny enough, I had just started rewatching the entire Halloween franchise. I just finished Halloween Ends today.
Wow.
And I'm like, what a high note to end this on. I friggin' love Halloween Ends. I don't care.
It's pretty great, not gonna lie.
Plus, it's always fun seeing just Corey's characters. It's so much fun to watch. But anyway, I digress. We have other things to talk about.
Oh, since we're speaking of Scream, you know that a Scream board game has been released, or is going to be released.
Oh yeah, I heard about that announcement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as that comes out, we have to buy it, and we have to have we should play it on the podcast. We should do a video of us playing the game.
There we go.
We should do it with like CC and everybody, just like have like a board game night and just play Scream.
Oh, okay. So the Wonderful Life horror movie is called "It's a Wonderful Knife," and it's by Freaky Writer and Tragedy Girls director.
Oh my god, this is gonna be insanely cool. I love this. All right, it's a nice little piece of news. I like
that's
that.
it though.
Okay.
It's interesting that we're doing Scream 6 today. Before we go into the spec map, because for those that don't know, it literally just dropped like yesterday on Paramount Plus.
And on digital too. I think you can already buy it on digital.
Yep.
And I'm over here like physical release when, please.
Exactly.
Like I want to go to Best Buy, and if they have a steelbook, because Best Buy usually has the best steelbooks.
Yep.
I'm really hoping they do.
I'll talk about some other stuff later on for the Scream stuff. That's for later.
Okay. So, yeah, before we get into Scream 6, we do have to talk about the today just dropped most recent thing, which is the HHN 32 Orlando Spec Map. Yep. Definitely some big changes there. Some news, some new information.
Some interesting stuff on there.
Very, very cryptic. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I have some thoughts about certain things that I think they're trying to throw off on us.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think we should just go ahead and get started. So on the map itself, we're gonna go usually the way me and Vania would do the maps, and even when we did our review for last year's HHN, we just kind of went like you're walking through the gates, going all the way up to Jimmy Fallon, then making a right through New York, and then doing that whole loop. Instead of starting from Hollywood, we start from New York.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that. So our first house in that area would be Demon Slayer, based on the anime.
That's interesting.
Kimetsu no Yaiba.
I've never watched the Demon Slayer.
Neither
anime.
have I, so I have no idea what to expect of this.
Hey!
So Vania,
Anyway.
our resident weeb here, she's gonna tell us all about it.
Resident weeb? I'm a resident weeb. Oh my gosh.
You are. You absolutely are. Yeah.
Listen, we have everybody's got.
I know
a
Demon
typecast.
Slayer is pretty big though, because I see Demon Slayer merch all the time at Universal.
Yeah, Universal. They might have a contract with them. Plus, Universal Studios in Japan has a Demon Slayer show or ride or something. Yeah. So tell me a little. Yeah, tell us a little bit about Demon Slayer for us
is Demon Slayer
who know nothing.
Horror-ish?
I'm giving you guys a summarization of it. Basically, how do I go about this the right way? So, sister gets attacked by demon. She survives demon bites. She kills entire family. Their entire family is slaughtered, but obviously him. And then obviously, the mom is dead. The siblings are dead, but obviously his younger sister Nezuko, which is the actual demon, is still alive. Obviously threatens to kill him. Is she the one with the scroll in her mouth? Yeah, okay. And that she's the one with that on her mouth. But he realizes, God, I forgot his name, the main character. But Katanjiro realizes that she has the potential to control, her demon powers. But obviously, they go slay demons together. There's like a antagonist that's behind all of this and whatnot. But it's very horror-esque. The only thing that I will say is that it has their post-feudal era kind of charm to it. There's a lot of Japan, colors,
like old Japan.
But it can be gory to an extent. To an extent, it's not like Elfen Light. I don't know if you guys know that anime.
I know a little bit about it, yeah.
And all this other stuff. But it's not to that level, but it is more of a more tangible anime that anybody can relate to if they were to do that.
Okay.
So
I mean, it is. I know it's a really hot property right now because I've seen a lot of merch. I've seen a lot of people dressed up in conventions and stuff. So I can definitely tell it's popular.
They sell Demon Slayer merch literally at the Universal merch booths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I like Demon Slayer, and it does have like a charm to it. For me, this is just a personal opinion. To me, it is very reminiscent to me of Inuyasha, but it's more of the gore and horror aspect that it has to it.
Okay.
But you
Okay,
know, but
so
although like Demon Slayer is not my favorite because it is mainstream, but it has its horror elements, and I can see it working as the house. The only thing that I do not like see that it's a little cheesy is seeing scare actors in actual Demon Slayer like costumes and or cosplay.
Yeah, like I said, I have no idea.
That's a super cheesy idea to me. But I do understand that their Universal Studios Japan just had their renovated attraction into Mugen Train, which is like based off the movie that they just released. Not they didn't just release. They actually released another one, a sequel movie, kind of bullshit. Anyway, regardless, it's like after the first season, then you see Mugen Train. Then it's the second season, which I haven't watched. I know, fake fan. And then then there's another one.
Okay.
But I mean, I do enjoy the anime a lot. It does have its horror elements, but I just think it's very cheesy, especially if you're doing it here in America. I don't think it's gonna work. But if it does, that they bring it over here, it is going to be kind of like, it's
It might. I
really
guess it could be considered kind of like the
heavy waters,
lighthearted, like kind of fun house,
right? And
kind
the
of
thing
like
is,
what
like,
Killer Clowns was, or like what.
yeah, but the problem is that Demon Slayer is in the depths. In the deep waters of Crunchyroll, and I know that Netflix does have some ownership to it. I just don't know how much Netflix is negotiating with their other studios to be able to create that, to give that ownership.
Yeah.
So that is an interesting it's an interesting concept, but I don't think it's likely. That's in my opinion. But if it does happen, I like to see how they execute that because that's gonna be very weird slash horror slash like I don't know, like it's gonna be a different it's
Yeah,
just very colorful but also gory.
because like I said,
It's a
from what
weird
I've
mix.
seen, like costume wise and merch wise, a lot of it is like really colorful. So I'm just like, I don't see the horror in this, but like I said, I haven't seen it. I can't really give you an opinion on it.
Yeah.
I
I mean, if
probably
you guys
may or may
watch
not
the
watch
first
it.
season, it does have, like I said, its horror elements. Just the colors that they throw in this anime is just a little bit off putting, and I just don't see it in a house. Me personally, just me personally.
But
So
I do like that you mentioned feudal Japan. I love the aesthetic of feudal Japan. So if that somehow gets put into Horror Nights, I'll be very happy.
right.
Because I remember, I think this is when we looked at the first spec map. This might have been what they were putting in as like Japanese characters.
Oh shit.
could have been.
Because originally we were kind of discussing that it could have been Japanese mythological creatures like Oni and that
Like
kind
a
of stuff.
kaiju or something.
Or
yeah.
a kaiju house. Oh my god. Give me Godzilla, please.
I mean, it could have been very cryptic. I just think that it would work better if they did more of a Oni lore slash
Yeah, or not even Japan, just Japanese. I
kaiju.
would even do like just like Asian cryptids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that would be really
Asian
cool.
cryptid would be better. I
It's
feel like it would
weird.
be better than Demon Slayer. In my opinion, it
Hmm.
would be so much better.
It's weird that they're like that this spec map is a lot of it is symbols. There's a lot of deciphering,
Mm. Well, I've heard
which we've heard that this year
they've been very,
Universal's
very
kinda
like
crack down on stuff,
Yeah.
and even
very
so,
strict.
even going so much as like giving people saying different code words for different groups, so
Mhm.
that not anybody has the
Like
exact thing.
compartmentalize everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
So in
for
case
all we
anybody
know,
gets like kidnapped and tortured, they don't have all the information.
yeah.
Well, either
There's
way,
some
Demon Slayer
interesting
out the door.
emojis.
The next one,
Yeah.
Exorcist, Believer.
We were just talking
So
about that with David Gordon Green. So that would, because I know the movie's releasing later this year, it would be a great way to advertise the movie.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, I figured because so David Gordon Green, I think he said he's doing the Halloween treatment. This is gonna be a direct sequel to The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I
More and
remember
all
him
the
saying.
other
That.
sequels. Yes.
I mean, I'm okay with that because Exorcist 2 was hot garbage. Exorcist 3 doesn't really have anything to do with any of the other Exorcist movies. other
Yeah.
than Brad Dourif being fucking amazing in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of like possession and exorcism movies. Have never really been like my thing.
Yeah, they're very like it's
They're hit or
very
miss for me.
rare that you'll get see one that'll just blow your mind.
Yeah.
Now I do want to see that one that's in theaters, and
Pope's
not
Exorcist?
the Pope's
Oh.
not that. No. There's one called Nefarious where it's about
Oh,
a guy
yeah.
on death row that's about to be executed, but then he gets possessed, and people think that he's trying to act crazy to get out of
To get on death row,
being
yeah.
executed. Yeah,
Interesting.
I want to see that. That one looks interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But yeah, most exorcism movies
very hit or miss.
very hit or miss. Heard Pope's Exorcism is trash, which
I
figured
heard
it
it's
would be.
like so bad it's funny.
Yeah. But you know, honestly, after watching the trailer for it, I would honestly probably want to go see that movie if it wasn't for it being Russell Crowe. I think Russell Crowe is what is stopping me from caring about seeing that movie.
Well, you know what my current
And I don't
issue
have
is with
anything
exorcism movies,
against
though?
Russell Crowe. He just looks out of place in that movie.
Yeah. And also the fact that he's doing, like, a fake Italian accent.
Yeah.
But, here's the thing with, like, weird things with, like, exorcism movies going on right now. Because the one that came before that with, like, the nun that became the exorcist, I can't remember what that movie's called. Is it, like, Let the Right... I don't even know.
That one was bad. Me and Angela saw it.
So the way that was
I fell
advertised
asleep
and the
during
way
it.
the Pope's Exorcist is being advertised, they're almost advertised like
It's
action
almost-
movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like of like it has like these weird close-ups of like people like putting stuff in a bag of like the cross is being put into a briefcase. Here comes the rosary.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is going on right now? What does this have to do with like an exorcism? I thought these were supposed to be like serious movies.
I know.
Yeah, I would say like
I
the
was
last
honestly-
like the
I was waiting
last
for-
legit good exorcism movie that I saw outside of like the first Conjuring is probably is it The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Oh yeah, that one's
Like
good.
that one's a legit good movie, especially because
That one's-
it delves into like the actual story of like was this like a real exorcism, like was this
Yeah.
needed, this person die because of something else type of thing.
Yeah, that one's
I like
good.
that part of it. But yeah, everything else after that is kind of like awful.
Donkey dick.
Oh, you know what else we forgot to talk about? I know you're not a huge fan of this franchise. The Insidious trailer came out though.
Yeah, see, I don't really care about Insidious.
I like the trailer. It looks good. It looks interesting. I like the return of the red faced demon.
Maybe I just need to sit down and watch them all, and then watch that one.
I haven't seen the last
Yeah.
one that came out. I haven't seen the last key, but I saw the first three, and they're decent.
I don't know.
I
There was
would-
just something about the Insidious movies that just never struck me.
they're very
watching it.
reminiscent, at least for me. They're very reminiscent of Poltergeist. In
Yeah.
terms of like a parent
See,
going
I'm not
into
too big into Poltergeist either. I
Okay.
like the original. The remake
remake is
is
so bad.
absolute fucking garbage, and I
Remake
was
is
so mad when
terrible.
I saw it in theaters, and
Same.
I was like, "What the?" I
Same.
laughed my ass off about
everything.
the tree. Well, not everything. There was a certain part where there was a tree that was beating the shit out of this dude, and I was laughing my ass off. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so bad."
Yeah, it was awful. Anyway,
Anyway,
so what is our
moving on.
next? Moving on. Our next one is, I mean, the only one that so far we do have official confirmation for.
100% confirmission.
Everybody's
Unless
favorite
Universal's-
killer doll.
Universal's been fucking with us this whole time. We're not actually getting Chucky.
It's just more
That'd be
Chucky
all.
merch.
Just more Chucky merch.
It's
yeah.
like the actual house is just a
Another
store
photo
for
booth.
merch.
It's just more photo booths.
I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah, we
mind
got-
it if
we
it
got
was like
Chucky.
I wouldn't mind it if it was like a bunch of different photo locations. So you have one that's like the good guys like Factory, or you have one that's like the part of the mental asylum from Cult of Chucky,
Yeah.
or the school from season 2. And that would be pretty cool stuff. But
Oh,
I'm curious as to what they're
Okay.
gonna do with this Chucky house. Like if they're gonna do the TV show or the
I
movies.
think they confirmed it's the
I'm
TV
sure
show.
Oh, it's gonna be the TV show?
I'm pretty sure it's TV show. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's cool.
So everybody needs to catch up.
I need to catch up. I haven't seen season 2.
I haven't seen season 2 either.
Oh, okay.
I need
Okay,
to
I'm
catch
glad.
up.
I'm glad we're on the same boat then.
I think it may be on Peacock. Maybe.
Yeah, they haven't put
Right.
it on Peacock yet. I'm still waiting for them to put it on there.
Yeah.
But after that, we have something very cool symbol wise. I'm thinking it's gonna be
Yeah.
witches because it's giving me
It has to
Salem
be a witch.
vibes.
Yeah,
That's
but I'm just scared that it might be the same thing as
that's a
last
witchcraft
year.
symbol for
Yeah,
sure.
Because like they had the whole cryptids thing yesterday, like last year going on, and I just did not like that. I just hope that they don't go that route.
you
I
mean
like our route.
like witches of the coven type thing, like from last year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spirits of the Covenant.
this Spirits of the Coven. Yeah, this looks more like traditional Salem witch.
And you know
So
100% I'd be down for that.
something that I think would be really interesting is setting wise during the
Salem witch trials are
Salem witch trials. Yep,
my fucking
and the
obsession.
witches are like, we've had fucking enough. Now you guys are gonna burn at the stake.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I like that.
I have an interesting theory about the next one.
Okay, so yeah, the next one is another symbol one. We have a castle and a dragon. So it's gonna be Game of Thrones.
Mm.
You're like,
I think
shut up.
people are
Shut
Anyways,
up.
I heard fucking another return of like Fire and Ice and the Dueling Dragons, and I'm like,
I heard about that too. I'm thinking it might have more something to do with.
I think
Oh god, what
okay.
was this house called? It was what was this called? But it was something like that of like light versus dark.
Okay.
I think it was from like Halloween
See-
Horror Nights 27, if I'm not mistaken.
See, I think I'm thinking the only thing that I'm the only one with this thinking right now.
What are you thinking?
Okay, so you see it's a dragon and castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
right.
What usually happens with a dragon and castle? What's associated with that?
Shrek.
No, jackass.
I had to do it. I'm sorry.
You know, what has
Following up
Scooby-Doo.
the-
dragons in the title?
House of the Dragon.
God damn it.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. Except for I'm not thinking Dungeons and Dragons. What TV show is based in Dungeons and Dragons?
I
Vox Machina.
have no idea.
Stranger Things season 4.
Oh yeah. My god, I'm so stupid.
Oh my god,
I'm really stupid.
that's dumb. That's dumb.
I think it's gonna be season 4 of Stranger
Okay.
Things.
Interesting. I kind of was. Oh god, I'm trying to remember the name of this. But it was something similar where it was like demons of hell against like angels,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like set in medieval times. That's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
But
So I
now that
think
you put that in there, I'm like,
because of the symbol, I think they're
Yeah.
throwing people off. People are going to instantly assume that the symbol means that's what it is, but I think it's a symbol for Dungeons and Dragons meant to be a Stranger Things symbol.
Oh, I think.
Just like I said last spec map, I think that the guitar with the lightning bolt symbol was
might also be Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Yeah.
So in that same area, we also have a scare zone for The Last of Us.
Yep. A scare zone for The Last of Us?
Yeah, in the New York area. So I'm thinking it would be interesting if they did like a mixture of two different things from The Last of Us, because you do have like the paramilitary groups that take over certain sections of the city and kind of run it as a fascist government, and then on the outskirts of that is where you have the infected. So it'd be cool to see like a mixture of the two, where you have like, you know, because they would have like public executions if you were infected and stuff like that inside the quarantine zones. So I think like stuff like that would be interesting if they end up going with that route. Because like if you look at the spec map location wise, it doesn't make much sense, because you have the scare zone in the New York area and the house by like the Men in Black area.
Yeah.
So if they were to do it in that way, the only thing I can see would be doing like the quarantine zone. But that would just be kind of boring, because it's just soldiers and guns walking around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we already kind of had that with Seek and Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if they end up just doing a bunch of infected, it'd be interesting to see the makeup looks, because the makeup, like, because, you know, they're not zombies, they're infected by a mushroom, and you can see, like, growths and, like, literally, like, mushroom stalks growing out of them and stuff, which is a really cool design. So I'm curious to see if that's what they go for.
Yeah.
But, yeah, interesting.
I'm sure Last of Us will be something.
Yeah.
It's too big of a. It's very popular.
It's
Very, very
been
popular.
it's been rumored, so I don't doubt
Multiple times, yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, moving on from that, we have in the
it.
Fast and Furious.
But would you just one more thing?
Mhm.
Would it be the? Would you guys think it would be the video game or the TV series?
It's probably going to be the TV series, to be
The TV
completely honest
series.
with
Yeah,
you.
it's
Just
most likely
because
gonna be the- but
the
the
reason it's so
problem is-
popular is because of the series.
But the problem is that if Kyle's theory was true of Stranger Things and or Demon Slayer, which is Netflix associated,
Hmm.
not Netflix associated as in ownership, not because Netflix created it.
Yeah.
What association does HBO have with Netflix?
I mean,
That's
it could
the
be
problem.
anything just because they've been known to work with multiple different IPs. Because, like, when they've done, when they did stuff like Walking Dead and Silent Hill the same year, they worked with both Konami and AMC. Same thing they did with, like, when they had stuff like that, they worked with New Line Cinema and with Netflix when they did Stranger Things the first time.
That's fair.
So, yeah, they can, I mean, I think it's just, like, matters of pricing. Like, who's going to, like, is Universal willing to pay whichever amount HBO or Netflix wants them to pay to use the IP?
Right.
So, it just depends, I think. And if not, and if they don't do that, then they'll just, like, okay, we'll talk to Sony and see if Sony will just give us the rights to use game stuff. Either or, I mean, the game is so extremely similar to the series, most people won't be able to even tell the difference.
That's fair.
So, yeah, it could be one of the two or both. Like a combination of like stuff that is in the game that isn't in the show and stuff that's from the show. So, we'll see if that is even a thing.
Okay.
You know what? I just realized I made a mistake
What did
He
you do?
made a mistake.
You made a boo boo.
on my Stranger Things speculation thing. I just saw that there's a star by it, which means it's supposed to be an original house. So yeah, that's.
Oops.
I still
If
think.
Kyle goes
I
down,
still,
the ship, the
I
entire
still
ship
think.
goes down.
I still think Stranger Things season 4 is happening this year. I just don't know where on this map.
I mean, you know what? It could be in the next one because the next one just says top secret and it does not have a star, so it's not an original.
I have another idea for that one.
Okay, what you got?
Something people have been asking for forever that's finally happening as a movie this year. I think this year.
Is it Scream?
Starring my boy Matthew Lillard.
13 Ghosts?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, shit, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
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 You may or may not.
Interesting.
If Five Nights
Interesting.
at Freddy's happens, that's it. Y'all, Nick is gone. Nick is nowhere near us. Nick is away.
Okay.
I lost him
I
in
can
the
see
pit of
that. And
despair.
I know, because I know that's also been heavily rumored as well, so.
Yeah.
Nothing, I love you.
Yeah. When I first... If this had had a star on it as an original, I honestly would have said something similar to, like, Havoc, Dogs of War. As, top secret government files, and, like, they were supposed to be a government experiment type thing, but we do know it's not an original, it's going to be an IP. Question is, what is it going to be?
No. I think it's Five Nights at Freddy's, but like I said, this very well could also just be Stranger Things.
Yeah, I know the deepest fucking lore.
He's hyped for Five Nights at Freddy's. Excuse the man.
I never even played a single fucking game.
He hasn't played any single fucking game, but there's like a lot of
I know.
It's a lot of
There's a shit ton
The
of
rabbit
lore.
hole that is Five Nights at Freddy's is deep.
That was the ghost of Nick's voice. Who?
The disembodied voice of Martin's husband.
It needs more chain rattling.
It needs been tree rattling.
What?
It needs more tree rattling.
You know how ghosts in like old cartoon or like Scooby Doo, they have
Yeah.
little chains that rattle.
I was going to say, just be
The chain
the
rattling.
one from
Yeah.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Be the Marley ghost.
Or Yussef,
To be visited by 3 spirits.
or me and you. It'd be like on Always Sunny when they put those chains around that one dude.
Oh my god. Jesus. Okay. Moving on, we have a purple dot that is our nightmare fuel. That's one of our shows.
The
The
do you think we're
bisexual
gonna get
awakening.
the same thing as last year? Or you think
I
we're
have
gonna do a
no
new
idea
story?
because to be
I hope
completely
that
to
it's a
be
new show because they have repeated a lot of those. Not a lot of the songs, but a handful of
I
them.
cannot say anything because to be 110% honest with you, I have not seen any of the nightmare fuels.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey,
Yussef, what is
Nightmare
wrong
Fuel
with
is the
you?
only reason why I want to see my husband in a latex pants and or in a Viking
Yussef, Nightmare
Viking
Fuel
tent,
is
man.
awesome as fuck.
I need to
Well,
watch
okay,
it.
so
Makes you
question,
horny.
this is a serious question. Have to do with the bullshit that's going on in our state right now.
Mm.
Do you think Nightmare Fuel could possibly be
Does
shut
it have,
down because of what's
but
going on in
does it
Florida?
have drag elements in it? Because I know
No, it doesn't.
but at the
No,
same
no,
time it
Problem
is
is
at the
that
same time
Nightmare
it
Fuel
is
is
pretty
considered
sexualized.
like it's
because of
considered
how it is. That's what I was saying. I said because of the content that's in it and the fact that we do have younger. We do have younger people that do go to
Yeah.
HHN. I'm wondering if
this is going to create an issue.
this could create an issue.
Fucking
No, it's
DeSantis.
fucking bullshit.
may or may not.
But
Bastard.
you never know.
DeSantis
I
is
also
either,
love that
well,
I
thank
love that he
God.
got sued by Disney.
Walt Disney is
absolutely.
waking up, man. They said we'll rise the demon. I'm like, it's about fucking time, Iger. Fuck.
Anyway,
Uh,
but I'm sorry.
Besides Nightmare Fuel, one we skipped over. I mean, it just says unknown.
Like,
Yeah,
scare
I mean
zone.
that is why I skipped it because it's just going to be a
Oh.
scare zone and it's a scare zone that it's in a location that's there every year, but I can't. There's nothing to speculate on in there.
It's not to speculate. Okay.
So yeah, that's why I didn't really touch on it. But moving on to our next house location, which would be the tent,
It's an original.
the MIB tent. It's an original, and this looks like
It looks like a circus
it
tent.
looks like a
with,
circus tent that's
smoke and-
farting.
Yeah, with like some kind of smoke stuff behind it. Well,
So, is it gonna go for just basic carnival?
is it some kind of carnival with clowns or some shit?
Maybe, or
Maybe.
maybe like a sideshow type thing, like a
Oh,
freak
that'd
show.
be cool.
Freak show, like a freak show idea would be interesting.
Like a freak show. Yes.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
that'd be sick.
I love
They could
me a
do a
good
lot with
freak
that.
show.
Interesting.
Or could it be an icon thing?
could it be Jack?
What?
Could it be Jack?
Oof. Y'all chill. Y'all chill.
Possibility. I'm not ruling it out, but it is a
Mhm.
possibility. Yeah, I have no idea what to do with with that information there.
The
to
next
be honest
one
with you.
I'm very confused with.
I am also very confused because it looks like an emoji.
But it's also an original.
So I'm guessing maybe maybe it could be something like technological, like futuristic.
Could be.
Maybe something Seek and Destroy related.
Oh, dude, that does sort of look like a Seek and Destroy logo.
I'm like, Alexa, play Cyberhex.
Yes.
Alexa.
Are we gonna get a Seek and Destroy like maybe sequel but as a house?
So that we have been found and now we're gonna get destroyed. They have
Ooh.
seeked for us and now they found us and now we're gonna get destroyed.
Ooh.
Are
I
we
would love
just all
that.
going to turn into gas and oil?
And I'm expecting, since it is in that big tent, like the same. I think it's gonna be the same one that they use for Slaughter Cinema. If they have a giant screen with like the overseer,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I love that overseer. I gladly took the
That
knee.
was an awesome scare zone.
I gladly took the knee and
Yeah.
bent down for the overseer. I'm very proud to say I did that.
He's like, Mommy, please step on me. Make me into oil and gas. Wait, what?
But anyway, our next one here is The Last of Us as a house.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
located in the tent areas.
Would they do that though? Like,
I don't know.
I'm newer to the HHN. I've only been the past 2 years, but
Mhm.
they do. have they done a scare zone and a house of the same thing on the same year?
For Rob Zombie, it's a similar thing. It's a
Kind of
Rob.
similar with Rob Zombie, yeah.
Yeah, for Rob Zombie, but I don't know how they would go about a house
Yeah,
and a
and
scare
then
zone, though.
there were the Walking Dead years where there was a year where there were no scare zones. It was all Walking Dead related zones, and then they had
It
house,
was
like the
just all
house.
zombies. It was kind of
Yeah,
sad.
like the only thing that was cool is if you were a fan of the show, it was all based on different locations that the group went to, but that was about it. So I mean, it's not the first time they've done it. The only other thing I would say too is at least back in 2008, I remember that they would set up like mini scare zones in front of certain houses. Like that in 2008 they did body collectors, and outside of the entrance to body collectors they had a bunch of the gentlemen kind of running around and like scaring people there. And that was also the first time that they did Dead Exposure, and they had zombies from Dead Exposure walking around the entrance, kind of like in a mini scare zone area. So I mean, it's possible. Again, what is throwing me off is the distance between scare zone and house.
But it happened during Rob Zombie, though.
But like Rob Zombies was like really close because Rob Zombies was like the San Francisco area, and then like just if you walk right past it, you would get to the MIB tent, and that's where Corpses was. So it was like distance wise, it was pretty close. But like this is like literally the opposite side of the park.
Maybe.
And that's what's like throwing me off. So I don't know. It's interesting. Something else I just noticed too. We're still missing. I think we're missing houses on here. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, there's 10.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
So like, if these are like what it is, it's like it seems some stuff may have gotten dropped because weren't we like 100% for sure we were gonna get like we're gonna Megan House this year?
Yeah, because of
Or-
the whole like Twitter thing that Megan and Chucky had against each other,
Well,
and then like
that-
Universal leaking
it's
some
not.
stuff. Or
Don't rule that out, though, because they are doing auditions for girls below 5'2"
Yeah,
that can
that's
I
what
did see
tumble
that. I
and
did see that.
dance.
Yeah,
So who
that
does
would
that?
definitely be
Megan.
Megan. Yeah. Where would that even fit in here?
I wonder if that is the top secret thing.
Maybe.
Would
Because
that
that is-
really be the big top secret thing
I don't
though?
know.
I feel like not to be like down or anything. Like I would like it, but I feel like the vast majority of HHN people would be disappointed if that was the big
The big top
IP.
secret.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing another Blumhouse thing, and then throw Megan in there and then combine it with another Blumhouse property. Probably something
I
like
think that
Insidious.
might be possible.
Something like
Probably
Insidious.
I think that's what the rumor was. Insidious and Megan as a
Which I could see because I
house.
mean they took two popular Blumhouse projects last year with Black Phone and Freaky. They might as well do it again this year
Yeah.
if they're gonna do it.
But Freaky was out before even Black Phone.
Yeah. But I mean they
For
were
a
like
little longer.
it was relatively popular. It did really well at the box office. So
Freaky was the first movie I saw when theaters first opened up during the pandemic.
Fair enough. I saw it like during the streaming services era, but
Yeah, so we'll see. This is interesting.
So which one next?
last but not least,
Well, we have a scare zone.
Oh yes, holidays.
You know what I think?
You know your
Maybe
boy
something-
likes
HR
holiday
Blood and
themed HR
Maybe
Blood and Guts. Yeah.
Maybe something that V would be a fan of. That I'd like to because I didn't get to experience it before anyway.
Krampus.
Krampus, yeah,
Krampus.
Krampus.
if they do end up doing a Krampus like scare
Krampus
zone, I
scare
would
zone?
be like, I'd be staying there all the time. I'm like, yeah, I'm not moving from here. I'm just waiting to be spanked by Birch. Thanks.
Oh God.
And that would be this. Yeah, that would be the Central Park area. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, that's why I was like, I feel like I'm missing a house, and it's because they usually have two houses, in the kid zone area, but I forgot that's going to be under construction. There's not going to be another. There won't be space for another queue in there. That's why. I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. Anyway, but yeah, the last one that we have on here is Universal Monsters Paris. So that immediately is giving me
Phantom and or Hunchback.
Hunchback vibes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
And it's happening in their Paris, I think. So
yeah. And it makes me think about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because I know it's kind of British, but there are moments in the story where he hides out in Paris.
please give me a Jekyll and Hyde house.
That'd be cool.
Please.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm curious, is because like I'm trying to think of like other things that are Universal Monster wise that are set in Paris outside of Hunchback, Phantom of the Opera, and Jekyll and Hyde. Because I don't know where Invisible Man is set.
Yeah, but Jekyll and Hyde is not Universal Monsters. That's the problem.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who owns the rights to that though?
How would it be?
The
Phantom?
Hunchback is somehow a part of it. 100%,
Well, wouldn't he
though.
be considered though? Because weren't they trying to put him into the Dark Universe when they did the Mummy movie in 2017, where Russell Crowe played Dr. Jekyll?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he might be a Universal property now.
See what the old Google says.
Good old Google.
Jekyll and Hyde Universal. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Googly ooglies.
Great googly boogly.
Jekyll and Hyde Universal.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of a short spec map this time. Not a whole lot of stuff that we can actually like concretely like specify.
To be fair, it
Just
just dropped out of nowhere. So.
Yeah, it did drop just randomly. We weren't expecting it to drop.
So apparently, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is the first monster because it was before Universal got the studio name, made its debut in 1913.
So he's technically the first Universal monster.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it could be Jekyll and Hyde.
Could be. I like
maybe
that.
Phantom or something.
Yeah. So because and then Hunchback is like the most French you can get.
Oh, what, you think that they're gonna do another like showdown house like they did last year with those three?
Interesting.
Maybe.
Imagine going through and seeing the Phantom like holding like
hey man,
Hunchback's head or something.
No, you know,
Werewolf wasn't Mummy's property, man. He had every right to be offended. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, why y'all taking my shit?
No. What I want to see is not an actual. It's like you have like two scenes, but then like the third one is just like a giant section of the warehouse. It's just a wrestling ring. And it's just the Phantom suplexing Mr. Hyde.
Not the suplexing.
But then the Hunchback comes in with a chair, and then also he does a DDT.
Oh my god.
Plot twist, the Hunchback is actually played by Randy Orton. See, and Mr. Hyde would be Brock Lesnar.
Yep, so lots to unpack here, y'all. Eventually.
And that question is, who plays the Phantom?
Yussef.
What? Me play the Phantom? I just start going ham. Start attacking people left and right.
He starts singing out of nowhere.
The first one eliminated. It's like a Royal Rumble match, but it's only those three monsters. Oh my god, can you imagine a Universal Monsters Royal Rumble? We should make that happen in like 2K and like create
2K23.
create the Universal Monsters and do a Royal Rumble.
Oh.
That'd be insane. We should do that. I would pay legit money just to see that in 2K. Not even in real life, just to see it in 2K. And then have like our prediction sheet like we did for Royal Rumble.
Oh my god.
Who's gonna come out on top? Anyway, we got wildly off topic there, thanks to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the spec map version 2.0. Thanks to Horror Night Nightmares for posting that. Gives us a little bit more of that spec season excitement for Horror Nights.
Yes, sir.
And now it is officially time for us to get into what this episode was supposed to be. A discussion and review on Scream 6.
Yeah, so Scream 6. It's a good time.
Good time.
Kind of.
This was well, not only was it a good time, it was a fun time because we
was a
literally
great
took
time.
up an entire row in the theater when we all went to
did.
watch it, which was
Did.
the best part, honestly.
I did dress as Ghostface.
Yes, you did.
again.
And of course, me being a shit starter, I'm running around going, "Oh my god, it's Scream!"
Yeah, I know. I even had a couple people in the theaters who weren't even part of our group come up and ask me for pictures.
Amazing. I love it. But yeah, that was a fun time because we also gorged ourselves on chicken beforehand. So we had Chicken Guy.
Yeah. Some Chicken Guy. We went to Flavor Town.
We took a ride to Flavor
Burger
Town.
Town.
Took a ride to Flavor Town and then stopped in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, basic story on this. It's been is it set in like real time? So it's been like a year or two after Scream 5 that you know of.
It's been hold on.
I think it's been like a year, hasn't it?
I think it's been a year. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's a year after the events of Scream 5, and a lot of the stuff is still fresh in everybody's minds, especially Sam's. Like she has gone like super overprotective of Tara to the point where they're having to live together while Tara's going to college. You still have Chad and Mindy also looking out for each other. They gave themselves the best name in the world, the Core Four, which I love.
Are we the core 3?
With the Core 3.
Or 3.
Core 3.
3.
Core 3.
But not all is as it seems. It looks like we have yet another Ghostface situation.
Yep.
And this time
It's not a Scream movie without a ghost face.
Yep. But this time this Ghostface is leaving clues that relate to previous Ghostfaces, which is very cool.
Which was really awesome.
Yep.
Literally using the mask from the previous Ghostfaces.
Yep, as evidence. So I like that it was tying back into not just the first Scream, but into the entire franchise.
Everyone. Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked it better than Scream 5. Don't get me wrong, I love Scream 5. I thought it was really good. Scream 6 is miles above it, though.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Everybody was just so much better in this.
And not only that, this proved that you don't need Sydney for it to be a Scream movie.
Yep.
Like, sure, she's a huge part of it. I mean, it's outside of Ghostface, she is the face of the franchise. But this proved that if...
Which I'd heard anyway that she had... It was only going to be a very, very small cameo in this beforehand. Anyway, she was. This was never meant to be her movie.
Exactly, which at the same time I like. Besides, it's time to move on to other characters.
It's time. Yeah, if you're gonna continue the franchise and you want to do it more and expand on the story, you've got to let go of Sydney.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is, obviously it didn't happen with Halloween, the new trilogy, the David Gordon Green trilogy, but they did it with Halloween's 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. Where they were just like, Laurie's dead, we're dealing with like brand new characters now. The only two returning characters are Loomis and Michael. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is a bold move at the time.
Let's talk about this really awesome opening and unique at that.
This is
honestly,
I'm not afraid to admit it, this is my favorite Scream opening.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times now, twice in theaters, and the first time I saw it, I was very confused. I was like, "Oh, okay, this is new."
I was not expecting that. Yeah, So,
This is definitely a new thing.
obviously, I mean, the movie's already been out for a bit. I mean, it's already out on Paramount Plus and digital, but we're talking spoilers. The literally the opening kill, you immediately get a Ghostface reveal.
Yeah, literally.
Like 5 seconds after Samara Weaving gets stabbed to death, this dude takes his mask off.
Yeah. Samara Weaving's the first kill, and it's so wonderful because it's set up like she's on a Tinder date,
Mm-hmm.
and she's meeting the guy at the restaurant, and then he calls her and he can't find it, and then she goes down and you see her walk outside and you see the alleyway, and of course you're instantly like, and this is also in the middle of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of people. This isn't like a dark, secluded alleyway where there are literally people walking on the street.
Yeah.
And she goes right down the alleyway because he says, "Hey, I see you," or "Hey, I think I see you," and then he just fucking runs at her and pins her up against the wall and just guts the shit out of her.
Guts her.
Goes to town.
And then just kind of drops her body right there by a dumpster, immediately removes his mask, and puts on his normal clothing, and then just walks off and blends in with the rest of the people. And I thought that was so fucking awesome because it's like, holy shit, it's like you literally just killed that girl and then just immediately blended in with the rest of the people. It's like you never know who it is.
Especially because it threw me for a loop at first because I was like, okay, so this could be an interesting concept for a Scream movie where we know who Ghostface is from the very beginning, and it's gonna get to the fun is watching the characters try to figure out who it is.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But lo and behold, this is just like the prelude to the opening. This is like the opening to the opening.
So like Jason gets back and to his apartment.
So you're like,
turns out him and his partner are film students,
are trying to be ghost faces,
and they're trying to start a ghost face spree
to kill Tara and Sam.
Yeah, but this is the first, and then what
Those
happens
girls
is
cannot catch a break.
what happens is the actual Ghostface, one of the actual Ghostface of the films, is in the apartment with Jason after he's already dismembered to hell and back Jason's partner, has his body in the fridge. And what's also great is, of course, they had to do it. It takes place in New York City. They have Jason Takes Manhattan playing on the TV.
Yep, the moment I saw that, I was like,
great.
yes.
Yeah. And the reason Jason killed Samara Weaving because Samara Weaving is a film studies professor, and she gave him a bad grade on his I can never say that guy's name correctly.
Wait, who? I'm trying to remember who it was.
Awesome director, the real famous horror director. It starts with G. Famous, I think he's Bay of Blood and stuff like that.
Oh God,
Galilei or something.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But
yeah,
I can't remember. I can't remember the name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a paper on him, and that's why he kills her because
she's like, "You get a D." He's like, "Well, now you die for that."
Yeah, but the actual Ghostface fucking kills Jason as well. Pulls us really awesome,
and that's our opening
phone call, and then that's the opening. Literally, we get the title screen as Ghostface goes to slash Jason for the final slash, and because Jason goes, what about my movie? Who gives a fuck about a movie? And then boom, Scream 6 title card, and you're like,
holy shit!
Holy shit!
Yeah, like legit, my favorite opening in any Scream movie.
It was insane. It was bold as fuck.
Yeah,
to do that.
It was completely unexpected, and I love the direction it took.
Oh.
Yeah, and then now we get into like the meat and potatoes of the story, which, in terms of not necessarily the actual story itself, but certain like bits and pieces of stuff that happens, is very reminiscent of Scream 2. Because you have our characters have grown up, they're in college, they're in a different city now.
Yep.
The climax takes place on a stage. And they recognize like, hey, the rules have changed, similar to Scream 2. They up the body count, more gore, more blood.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
it's
will
essentially
say,
like the modern version of Scream
And
2, I think.
even the literal motive and who the killers are is reminiscent of
Very
Scream
reminiscent
2.
of Scream 2.
We'll get to that later, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Just
will
talk.
say, I do it. I enjoy how creative they were with the kills and whatnot.
The
It was
kills.
those
Oh,
like super creative. It was a lot gory too. They weren't afraid to show some skin
dude.
today. I was like, damn.
Yeah, this Ghostface was not fucking
It
around.
was vicious.
It was vicious as fuck.
Mhm.
Let's see. I guess let's go through
I guess I would say favorite scenes.
favorite scenes, favorite kills, and then like character development and stuff. Because
Mhm.
there's a ton of character development.
There
It's like if you
is.
thought like people that you in the last in 5 that were like good, but still need to be fleshed out. They really stepped it up
Yes,
and
like
just went
outside,
all out
yeah,
in
like
this
outside of
one.
the main characters, some of the side characters got some, like Chad and Mindy got some pretty good character development in
Yeah,
them.
because like literally at the last movies, it was like I liked certain people, but then in this movie, the heart and soul of the movie was Chad.
Oh, yes, he
Like
was.
Chad was so good.
Which is why when a certain thing happened, I was like, oh God, no.
Yep.
And then I realized the second
Well, we
thing
all
right
expect
after
it.
that, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, character development was definitely a major upside in this film because
Yeah.
you have not only do they get more screen time, you also get to see how they're dealing with what happened the year before.
Yes.
So Sam has become like even more like she's become kind of like neurotic
Sam's
and
become very
overprotective.
protective.
Tara is like
He's-
either like the one that's just like I just want to forget this whole thing. I want to just like
Yeah,
live my
yeah.
life, and you won't let me live my life
And Tara's trying to
to
move
move
on.
past it. Yeah,
Sam's become so protective. She's literally moved to New York City
just to be with Tara and
with
watch over her.
them. They're all in college.
Yeah.
She's not. She's just working. They said that she's working 2 shitty jobs to
Yeah.
help pay for rent.
And
And she's seeing
then
it.
Chad and
And she's
Mindy
seeing
are
it.
in college, and they're also like they're also protective, but they're not to the level of Sam, where they're just like she's family essentially. Like we have to watch out for each other because we've already been victims of this.
Yeah.
And based on the history of what's been happening with Ghostface, we can still be a target if anybody comes back as another Ghostface.
Exactly.
So like they recognize that, but they still want to move on.
Yeah.
And I like that was
Sam
like a
is
delicate
also
balance. I think they did pretty good.
Sam's also seeking a therapist because, as we kind of saw near the end of Scream 5, she's starting to. We find out that she enjoyed killing Richie, and she's afraid that she may possibly become her dad.
Mm-hmm.
She's starting to feel good about the killing.
Yeah.
And she realizes that there's a darker part of her she didn't realize.
Mm-hmm. And now, like her balance is: do I,
And
can
I have a
I
theory,
fight
like
this and can I win?
yeah, I have an awesome, like this is just something I would personally love. Even she's done it. Melissa Barreros has done an interview even saying this that uh she actually would love it if in Scream 7 if Sam does officially become Ghostface
Mm.
because and I thought this was really cool too, and I thought this would be a really cool spin to do. How in normal horror movie franchises we think we're watching the story of the final girl when in fact we're watching the story of the villain being created.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and I do think Sam's going to end up being Ghostface eventually because she
I can
does.
see that. Yeah, because
You
especially
can
with
tell
the
when
way
she
this
killed
ends.
Richie, she locked it, and even though it seems like they make it try to seem like nah, she's putting off the bad side later on. No, she's still very much locking this, and near the end, I mean,
You
when she
can
puts
tell
on the
she
whole costume
definitely is just like starting to
and
delve into that. Yeah.
fucks with them as full on Ghostface, because it's like, why would you do that unless you have ulterior motives? It's like it's because you wanted to.
Yeah.
you really felt like you wanted to do that, and even Tara was kind of gave her a look like, I don't know about you. I'm keeping my eye on you. Something's up about this.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, you're right. In terms of like the writing of the characters, it's really, really good.
yeah, because it's cause, like I said, you're just like you're constantly like conflicted. You're like, is Sam good, or is she gonna fully let her dark side take over and become the daughter of Billy Loomis?
Dun dun
And
dun.
this,
And then and she will become Sam Loomis. Oh my god.
yeah. Oh God, she will, won't she?
That'd be awesome.
I was hoping 7. She doesn't do like a fast forward and she's like got a career as a doctor and she's Dr. Loomis.
Stop. I'm dead. It reminds me of like this one
Let's see
doctor
here.
like in Orlando. Whenever I'm in the area and I drive past that office, it always makes me laugh. It's this
Was there a Dr.
doctor.
Loomis?
No, it's this doctor. His name is David Bowie. Like spelled a different way, but it's just like if you say it fast enough, it's just like David Bowie. But no, actually, funny enough, the close to my house there's a funeral home, and it's called the Loomis Funeral Home,
Wow,
and I love that.
that's great. All right, so let's see here. Favorite scenes.
Outside of the opening,
Saw the opening. Yeah,
I really, really liked the ladder scene.
the ladder scene. Okay, yeah, that was great.
The moment,
was
like,
one-
just like in terms of like the suspense and how tense and like you were like, oh my god, please make it across to the other apartment.
Yeah. As someone who's terrified of heights, yeah, that was
That
anxiety
was.
inducing. I literally told Angela the first time we saw it. I was like, "Y'all just gonna have to fucking forget about me. I'm gonna stay in that room and just get killed by Ghostface. I ain't going across that goddamn
Not
ladder."
only that, like for me, it was like sure crossing it is already terrifying enough, but when Ghostface goes in there and just starts shaking the ladder, I'm like, oh hell no, oh hell
Yeah.
no, how dare you,
Yep.
you sick son of a bitch.
Poor poor Annika. You didn't deserve that.
Hers was just such a sad death.
Yep.
I also love the guy that was Sam's love interest, boy toy type of guy.
Yeah.
He was so cool.
He didn't get many scenes, but what he did though, he did shine in it.
He was amazing
in like
in
a meme.
like he
top,
because like the way
Boyfriend
he
of the
talked
hour.
was really funny.
Wait, yeah, the way he like looked was like, yo.
Not only that,
Ghostface
I
is
kind
there.
of love the fact that like because somebody was like, why did this man have such a long ladder in his apartment? And somebody replied with, because he's the type of guy that would have that handy in case somebody needed his help. He would have a ladder and be like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like of course he is.
Literally,
But not
I think
only
ladder
that,
was bigger than the apartment.
one of my favorite scenes, not even a scene, it's just like a couple of lines when they're like, okay, we're going to set up the trap for Ghostface. We're going to make sure we get him.
Yeah.
And he specifically goes out of his way to say, I'm not going with you guys. Don't
Yeah.
trust me.
Yeah,
And I'm
he
like, this dude is sacrificing his like own safety for this.
Yeah, this
Like
dude,
he's legit. Sam, marry this man.
Don't
I was
worry, I can
so-
fix her. That's always the answer.
was so happy that he didn't die too.
Same. Like I'm really
Like,
hoping he comes back for Scream
Finally,
7
they had a love interest where its love interest isn't the killer
and doesn't die.
and doesn't die.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Oh.
I really liked his character too. I
The
am
ladder
really
scene
hoping that if he comes back for Scream
was
7,
done
then he
really
gets some more
well.
screen time.
Especially because before that we have the whole Quinn's person or boyfriend, whatever it is, gets killed,
Mm-hmm.
slaughter in the bathtub, and then Quinn is thrown through the door and is
Her throat
Killed.
slashed. Quote
killed.
unquote.
And yes, and we have this awesome little the chase scene that leads to the ladder scene
Mm-hmm.
and Annika's death, and you're just like, God damn, that's
Yeah.
awful, heartbreaking. Plus, you had that moment where they all kind of came together and had their whole big group moment where the finally
yes,
like,
when it
came
feels
together
so
as a
good.
group.
That's when they call themselves the Core Four. And
They call themselves the Core
well,
Four,
Chad
and
calls them the Core Four. Everybody's like, no,
yeah,
Chad, no.
and Sam admits to him that she's been seeing the guy across the
But they're like,
apartment.
oh, we know.
We know. Yeah, they all knew it. She wasn't even. Yeah, they didn't even. They weren't. She weren't good at hiding it.
Yeah, like that was one of my favorite scenes because again, they have such good chemistry together.
Yeah. Of course,
Um,
let's see, besides that, we had the ladder scene. My personal favorite, the one that I fucking clapped in theaters, was when Sam finally puts on the costume and the mask.
Yep.
It's a moment you've just kind of always been waiting for.
So it was
And
kind of
I was
hiding. It was like
basic.
hiding underneath the skin in Scream 5,
yeah,
like when she was seeing Billy everywhere.
and it's like when she saw her the costume, and I know Tara didn't understand. Tara was kind of like freaked out, but when she saw her dad's costume in the glass case, and
The way
she
she
put
looked at it, yeah.
her hand up on the case, it's she's feeling her dark side of what she's been feeling her life, but it's also like in a weird way, she's trying to have a connection to the dad she didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
it
the
was a
way
really
she
cool
connects
scene.
to him. Yeah, but also fucking we got Skeet Ulrich back in his
And his little
not that
de-aging.
great of a de-aged version of him, but still
You know what? He still looks fine.
Yeah,
It
he
was
still
the
looks
makeup
fine.
for me, dog.
Yeah, we still look fine, and he has my favorite line ever. He's like, "Come on, Sam, come on, Sam, let's do it. Me and you, Team Loomis, let's cut some motherfuckers
Team
up."
Loomis, I love it.
He's so hardcore in these versus what he was in Scream.
Like Scream 5 and
didn't
Scream
say
6,
that.
Billy is just like
Shit.
unhinged, completely unhinged.
Yeah, as a spirit, he's all unhinged.
He's become the Beetlejuice of the Scream franchise. But
yeah,
but you
I
know
love when
I love that
Sam
scene
puts on
too.
the
I honestly I
costume.
love the whole scene when they find the theater with all of that stuff.
Oh, that shrine room.
The shrine room was
I know I was like was like a giddy little schoolgirl when I saw that on the screen.
when you were like, "That's my basement."
I was like, "Oh my god!" I think I told Angela all like the whole time that she was having to get me to hush. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Because I'm like pointing out everything. And then of course one of the most iconic moments, fucking Herbie and Mindy together, and they're just
And just like
naming
testing each
off.
other's scary movie knowledge, and I love
Yeah, they're
that.
just naming off everything, and they're naming off these like awesome shit that you didn't even think about, and it's just fucking
And they just
great.
bond over that. Because also, yeah, we didn't even mention that Kirby's back, which is awesome. I'm
Kirby's
so glad
fucking
she's back.
Yeah, Kirby's back.
She was a great red herring though, because she had me for like a second towards the end. I was
I'll
like, oh
admit,
no.
I'll admit, towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
at first, I did 100% think I was like, oh wow, so they went with it. Kirby is Ghostface. Holy shit!
And not only
They
that,
did
especially
really
you know,
good at
like
that.
when that trailer came out, and I said my theory, and you know, a lot of this stuff should be in evidence. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be somebody with either police connections, or as a police officer, or some kind of somebody in law enforcement. And Kirby comes around, and I'm like, oh boy. Especially when like some of the promotional materials came out, and she's wearing like specific clothing and that kind of stuff, and you're like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm yeah.
But they also, I'm glad what they did, because it's like we were afraid that they were going to bring her back as either she was either going to be the Ghostface or she was going to be killed. But no, they used her
No.
in a really good role. They brought her back, gave her, and she had a really good role. And I think they used
Yeah.
her perfectly.
Like it was written very very well. Like you can it's essentially like it's like a natural progression of Scream 4 Kirby going into Scream 6 Kirby.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it wasn't like a completely different character. It just felt like
And
Kirby.
oh my god, man, my fucking heart whenever she is going across the shrine, she comes across Jill's shirt.
And she's like,
You can tell that still hurt, because
yeah,
it's like, one, she's betrayed by her best friend, but two, she's still, it's like, she still has
so
that
raw.
love that's still her best friend. It's
Yeah.
so raw. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That whole shrine scene And Shrine Room
when
is
she
insane.
when she comes across the knife that stabbed her.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
part
right.
was
Yeah.
pretty. That was pretty raw.
Well, not to mention when she kills somebody by throwing a TV on them, and she says, "I saw that in a scary movie,"
Yeah, I know.
and I'm like,
They're
"Yes, yes, you did."
poking fun at us stew lovers with that one,
Yeah.
but once again, and I know I've said 100 times, I want Stu to come back, and they still will not finally say whether or not, because they like to fucking dangle those little Easter eggs
They
at us.
haven't
Like
officially said
there's
that he's dead.
there's literally a moment in this movie where they're like Kirby says something about Stu Macher, and Mindy says, "Yeah, if you believe." Kirby says something about Stu Macher being dead, and then Mindy says,
Yeah, if you
"Yeah, if you
believe it.
believe that."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Oh shit! Why they do that?"
Because it could be like, oh, it could be a tease, or it could just be them poking fun of the people, us that
Yeah, it could be
believe
just to
that
make
Stu is still
poking
alive.
fun of us. Yes.
So, but at the same time, I love that they do that to the fan base.
Yeah.
Like I love
Yeah,
how
they
in
will.
tune the writers
They
are
are.
to
They
like
are.
the fan base and like what the fans
Yeah.
want to see and what they would like to see and how they can poke fun at it.
Yeah. Radio Silence has done a wonderful job.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like they've done a really good job of like picking up where Wes Craven left off.
Yeah. What was it? See. What about favorite? Gail's.
We didn't even talk about the subway scene though.
The subway scene was wonderful.
Subway scene.
Yes.
Yes. Subway scene was insanely cool.
And all
Anytime.
all the Halloween costumes.
Mm-hmm.
The funny little, and like there's literally like so many different Halloween
Oh yeah.
costumes.
When we get to the grave robbing
Any
facts, there's a
trick.
list of all the little characters that are in there.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Uh,
But yeah, like
Gail's-
I loved how tense it
Gail's
was.
apartment scene. Yeah. Yeah, and it was just like what we said in our original speculation episode.
That she was not going to be.
The
Mindy was not
subway
in the same train as the rest of them were.
She was not on the same train. Yeah. And then we got the Gail's apartment scene. We finally got the iconic moment where Gail finally has a
conversation
Ghostface.
with Ghostface.
Yes.
Yep.
It's great. The only thing I didn't like is that there's just they played it so well to where it looked like Gail was going to be finally killed.
That was like a
Hey, I
common.
was believing
Honestly,
it. I was like, oh, she is gonna be where she belongs now.
that's kind of a
Nope.
common thing with this movie, though. There was a lot
Yes.
of red herring deaths where you think somebody died and they didn't.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of people did it almost killed where they should have actually been dead. Like, there's no reason. I was like, there's no fucking way they survived that.
Yeah, and we'll get to who that is in just a second. Because I think Mindy's is like the most believable because she just got stabbed once in the stomach, and you can survive
Mindy's is
that.
believable.
If you get to a hospital fast enough, you can survive that.
Gail, I guess I could, but I'm wondering why they keep doing this. Because from what I've read, she wanted to. Courtney Cox wanted Gail to be dead in Scream 4.
Mm-hmm.
But they just won't do it. They won't let go of Gail.
Just let her go.
She's great.
Yep.
Like, it would have been interesting if they pulled that type of move with, like, if they're doing just a new trilogy of, like, 5, 6, and 7, where they kill off the legacy characters in each one. Like, Dewey dies in 5, Gale dies in 6, and Sydney dies in 7, or something like that. Yeah. That would have been interesting.
They mentioned, like I said, even though that she wasn't in it, they still name drop Sydney in this movie.
And she's like, I called her, and she said, like, something.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that's really all we get Sydney-wise.
2 other favorite scenes. I love when they did the callback where Sam goes to punch Gail because apparently Gail. So Gail's character writing kind of sucks in this movie in a way because it's like even though Dewey died in the 5th one, you'd think she would be more sympathetic
about it or anything.
And more
but she's already got a man.
Protect Sam. Well, not just that, but the fact that she is and straight back to being cold-hearted and riding and making money off of shit that her friends have died from.
Yeah, and I wonder at the same time if that's like her defense mechanism of like just throwing
It
herself
could
into
be.
something
It could be.
to keep her mind off of Dewey.
Which Tara says it best is like you don't exist without Ghost or you can't stay relevant without Ghostface or something
Yeah.
like that. But
So it's like I think it's like a combination of the two of like her just trying to stay relevant, but also like finding this as like maybe her version of therapy of like trying to get past Dewey's
Yeah.
death.
and I mean she also says her whole thing of someone's gonna write about it, why not me?
Mm,
So
that's
I mean
true.
I guess that makes sense.
Somebody that actually
But-
experienced it and witnessed it. So
Yeah, but I love when Sam goes to punch her and she dodges it and she's like, haha, and then Tara fucking knocks her ass out.
knocks her.
God, that was
Yep.
good. That scene, and I loved, even though, I mean, it was kind of the same, but I loved Mindy's whole, oh, here we go. This is a franchise.
Beheadings.
Her meta Randy moment. Yeah.
I love when she says that. Beheadings.
And she more or less figured almost everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. I love that scene at the end. She's like, I missed it again.
She
She's like, I called it and I missed it again.
Yeah. But yeah,
Like they're gonna redeem that in Scream 7 where she actually gets it right, but then she's there for it.
That'd be cool.
She's like, and like it just cuts her. She's like, I finally am here for it.
See here. Oh, and then of course, fucking bodega scene was iconic as
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
Literally, Ghostface walks into the store,
No
to a
chill.
crowded grocery store in full costume.
Starts murdering.
It starts murdering people, kills 2 people left right off the bat with his knife. Dodges a shotgun, takes the shotgun away from the shop owner, and then fucking blows him away with it. It's like, God damn.
Ghostface don't play around.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, that's as far as favorite scenes. That's probably it for me.
Yeah. Favorite kills, definitely the opening kill, Smart Weaving. That one was a good
Opening kill.
Opening kill was good.
Obviously love that Sam killed his Ghostface.
Yes. The way
was
she
sick.
killed him too.
The way she killed him.
Oof. Stabbed him in the eye. Hell yeah.
One of the most iconic. Oh yeah. And speaking of stabbing in the eye, the therapist's death was sick as fuck too.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, a stab through the eye as well. But when Tara takes the fucking knife, puts it up through Ethan's fucking mouth, and then does that whole line where she says, "You're gonna die a fucking virgin," and then twists the knife. Oh my god.
I remember. No, it was Sam that said that line to Quinn. He's
Yeah.
like, I already killed one of your brothers. What's another one?
Yeah, what's another one? Yeah, yeah, because we'll get to the big reveal later on. But
Yeah.
yeah, Quinn. So Quinn, the ghost face. She's not dead. Obviously, she faked her death.
Yep.
Officer Dermont is the ghost face, and he's kind of the leader of it. And Quinn's his daughter, and Ethan's his son. Ethan's the other ghost face. And Mindy figured out Ethan immediately to the point that she was even calling him Ghostface and even making text saying GF is when she's texting somebody. It was funny as hell that she did that.
No, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that we've had 3 ghost faces, right? Because usually
Yes,
it's just the 2.
But we didn't have 3 ghost faces. We
Yeah,
technically
not even
had,
in the TV series. Not even.
technically had 4 ghost faces in this movie.
Oh,
Because
because
Jason counts as a ghost face.
That's true.
He wore
So this is the first time
costume,
we've
he
had more
made-
than
he
2
made
ghost
calls,
faces.
and he killed as Ghostface. The only one that I'm technically not counting, even though I want to, is Sam, because she did wear the costume and did kill,
But
but
didn't do the
she's not,
phones.
and she did make the
phone.
calls, but she's not intentionally trying to be Ghostface.
Yeah.
That's how I'm getting her off on technicality.
So then, in any
four
case, it's still the most
Ghostfaces.
ghost faces we've had
Yeah. We had 4
in
ghost
one movie.
faces.
Yeah,
You can't count Jason's partner because
he didn't really do anything.
he didn't kill his Ghostface yet.
No, he got killed by Ghostface.
Yes. Yes. So yes, there are 4 ghost faces in this
Very
movie.
cool.
Really cool.
Yep. So before we get into any, I mean, yeah, favorite kills
one
wise,
more.
yeah. What you got?
One more awesome fucking scene. I think we all clapped in the theater. We finally get 2 ghost faces attacking somebody at the same time and then wiping their fucking blade
at
in
the
sync
same time.
At the same time. Oh my god.
That was
iconic.
Awesome. And again, it was one of those things where, well, we should say they stabbed Chad a bunch of times. Where you think, oh shit, they killed
he
Chad.
He should have been dead.
But then he's still alive after like 13 stabbings from each ghost face.
Yeah, I think CC cried whenever that part happened because we thought Chad was dead.
And I thought so too. And when it was revealed that he survived, I was kind of mad because I was like, come on, really? He should have died from that.
He absolutely.
But then like after I gave it some thought, that's when I told CC, I know why. He's the Dewey of the Core 4.
Nope.
He's meant to be the red herring death in every movie where you think he's dead, but he's actually still alive.
Chad now has this ongoing romance with Tara,
which I'm very happy about. I like that.
I'm happy about it, but yeah,
it's super cute.
This is kind of cool. Yeah, it is cute. I like it. Now we just need one of fucking Mindy's girlfriends to not fucking die.
Right? God, stop.
God damn.
Let this woman be happy.
Her over like that. Just let Mindy be fucking happy. Give her a girl in Scream 7 and don't kill her.
Don't kill her, for the love of God.
God damn.
Stop.
They've done it twice now.
I mean, don't get me wrong. What I like it the most about this movie is that it's very brutal, and the fact that, you know, especially like the whole like ladder scene, that shit had me on edge the entire time, especially with the shaking. And then like, what was funny is that my husband Nick literally was laughing the minute Mindy's girlfriend just hit the ground because it was the most anticlimactic death. Because you expected it to die, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then I was like, "Yeah." Like I just expected like a more dramatic death for her.
She just drops.
That kind of thing. She just drops. Like, you know, I expected it like to be like emotional, but it was like just
plop.
Done. There she is.
It was just like Jeremy in Halloween Ends when that kid just flies. When I saw it again, I still busted out laughing when Jeremy dies at the beginning of Halloween Ends. Because it's just so funny how his head just snaps back.
Punk ass bitch.
It still made me laugh so hard.
What's even a little more heartbreaking about Annika dying is, okay, so, you know, of course, me, I've done all of my homework, and I know which ghost faces killed who. So, in the apartment scene, the one who killed Annika, that's Ethan. Earlier in the movie, at the Halloween party,
they had switched something. They had switched hats or something, right?
What's also great about this movie is this takes place during Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking wonderful,
right?
But yes, we see Annika wearing a hat or a helmet or a mask, and then Ethan's wearing something else, and then the next scene they've swapped. So it's like they're good enough friends that they'll like mess with each other and take each other's.
And then he still kills her.
Wear them, and he killed her. Yeah, that's fucking heartbreaking that he was able to do that.
Yeah. Damn.
But of course, yeah, I've done my homework. I can tell you who all killed who. The apartment scene is Ethan. The most kills is Officer Dermott. He did the bodega. He killed everybody except for he didn't kill Annika, and Gail's boyfriend is killed by Quinn.
Okay.
The only one I'm not sure about, because, you know, Quinn's also Ghostface. I don't know if Quinn and Ethan both killed Quinn's boyfriend, or if Quinn killed her boyfriend, or if just Ethan killed.
Yeah, that one's a little cloudy.
That's the only one I'm cloudy about, but Everything else was done by Officer Dermott, except for Annika was Ethan, and Gail's boyfriend was Quinn. Gail has let's say Ethan kills Quinn's boyfriend for sake of Quinn not being figured out. Quinn has the least amount of kills. She only has one.
And Ethan would have 2, and then Officer Dermott
Would
has
have 2.
the rest of them.
Yeah. I think he has 7 or 8.
Jesus.
He was just shy of beating Roman.
Roman had
I really wish
8 or 9, right?
Roman had 9.
Roman had 9, okay.
Technically, but I'll get on a fucking
yeah,
rant
the
about Roman.
whole thing about Scream 3, how there's a Ghostface, because it makes no
There's
sense.
supposed to be 2 ghost faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe.
So I think it's time to take a quick break. We're gonna go do a grave robbing facts, and then when we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about stuff that maybe we didn't like as much, and then our final thoughts, especially on the Ghostface reveals.
Okay.
And
the plot, the motive.
And the motive, yeah. Okay, so we'll be right back with some grave robbing facts.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our grave robbing facts, where we discuss basically anything that goes behind the scenes and fun facts that is based on our topic, which is Scream 6.
That is correct. Oh, you want to do it again?
What'd you do?
No, did you want to run it again?
No.
Because I just saw you doing this.
No, I mean, I can redo it if you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and redo it, just because I interrupted you. Because I saw you doing this, so I thought you said that you like wanted me to cut that. So I thought you wanted me to cut it. That's why. My bad.
No.
Yeah, go ahead and start it again. Sorry.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our grave robbing facts, where we basically give you any fun facts that go behind the scenes of the topic that we are discussing. And this time around, even though we are a month late, once again, we are discussing everything that went back into Scream 6. Things that happened and things that may be involved into the casting thing. So yeah, hi.
All right, so I'll go ahead and take the reins first here. So our first grave robbing fact: although Courtney Cox and Roger Jackson, the voice of Ghostface, are the only actors who have had roles in all 6 films, this film marks the first time they have directly interacted via telephone. Took 6 movies to get there.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to take the next one?
I got it. Somebody dressed as Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls is seen in the subway. Roger L. Jackson, voice of Ghostface, is also the voice of Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, nice.
Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo
will destroy the Powerpuff Girls.
Our third grave robbing fact is that Courtney Cox did her own stunts in Gail's showdown with Ghostface. That was the bulk of my time filming. She told Entertainment Weekly, "It was physical. It was my favorite scene I've ever had in a Scream movie because I really got in a fight with Ghostface."
Much respect to Courtney Cox for that.
I would do the same thing, honestly.
See, now what I want is a John Wick style fight against Ghostface.
Oh.
Give me a fight.
What are you talking about, dude? Ghostface would not stand a fucking chance.
No, not against John Wick, but like a John Wick style fight of like the same same choreography.
If Ghostface is calling John Wick, he better fucking.
Oh, he's gonna hang up the moment he hears hello. He's like, oh yeah, no, never mind.
Yeah.
But he like star 69s him back. Are you calling because you want to know if I'm back? Anyway, our next grave robbing fact. On the subway, one of the passengers is dressed as Grace from Ready or Not, which was directed by Matt Bettinelli Olpin and Tyler Gillette, who directed this film. Samara Weaving, also who played Grace in that film, also stars in this movie. What a connection.
What a connection.
Next grave robbing fact is Rape Frankie asks Tara if she is a part of the Omega Beta Zeta sorority. This would be the New York chapter of the same sorority house Cece, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, was in Scream 2.
I love that. I love that callback to Scream 2. When I first heard it, I was like, "What?"
Omega Beta Zeta. Omega Beta Zeta. CC speaking.
So, our next robbing fact, it is the longest film in the franchise at 2 hours and 3 minutes.
And it was still a breeze. It did not feel like a 2-hour movie. Because it was such... the pacing was so well done that it did not... There was no points where I was like, oh god, this feels like a 2-hour movie. But anyway, our next grave robbing fact is the really fun one because I'm a sucker for these kinds of things. One of the film's marketing stunts caused a slight panic. In early March, people in Ghostface costumes were sent out to various cities as part of a viral marketing ploy. One of those cities was Sonoma, California, where the original Scream was filmed, and police received several 911 calls from alarmed locals. I love guerrilla marketing like this.
I love guerrilla marketing like this.
Like what they did with Scream or for Smile at the baseball game.
Yes. More movies need to do shit like this.
Yes, they do. I love that kind of stuff. Like they even did it. They didn't. It wasn't for a movie, but I remember for BioShock 2, to promote BioShock 2, they went to beaches and like legit had like glass bottles with like messages inside, and they were like maps to Rapture and like people like invitations to Rapture and that kind of stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah. One album cycle. When Motionless was going to release an album, they had a bunch of people set up in different cities where they hit a QR code, and people would be would be over by the city, and fans would have to walk by and scan the QR code, and if they did, that person would alert Motionless, and then they would release a track from the album on that day until everybody got every track, and then they would stream the whole album.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So what's our next grave robbing fact, Kyle?
The next one is Mindy and Annika are shown eating from a Jiffy Pop aluminum tin, which was what Casey was making shortly before she was killed in Scream 1996.
Look at that.
Wow.
So it looks like a Jiffy Pop is just cursed in this universe. If you eat Jiffy Pop, you might get attacked or killed by Ghostface.
Yep.
So just stay away from Jiffy Pop. Just don't.
Our next grave robbing fact is that the directors joke that they've watched the movie 1,000 times and constantly notice a new reference in the movie. And some of their most obscure Easter eggs include a reused sound from the sound effect Ty West. Ty West. 2022 horror film X, a glimpse of the Sonic Hedgehog blue head quills as a favor for Benatelli Open Sun, and a shot of somebody dressed as Keke Palmer's character from Nope. Nice.
Just the most random thing is, you can see part of Sonic the Hedgehog's blue hair.
Yep.
That's great. We love it.
Alright. Our next grave robbing fact. Samara Weaving's character Laura Crane shares a name with Sydney's alias Laura that she was using while in hiding in Scream 3. Her last name is a reference to Marion Crane from Psycho.
Oh.
Look at that.
Our next grave robbing fact is the first Scream sequel to ever reference any of the sequel film's killers directly by name and not indirectly. Every sequel up until this film had only specifically referenced the first film's killers, Billy and Stu.
I didn't know about that actually, because I never really paid attention to that. They never actually said their names until this one.
So, our last but not least grave robbing fact is the most notable horror reference arrive in the subway sequence with the background characters such as Pinhead, the Babadook, Peach Fuzz, Jason Voorhees, Samara from The Ring. By the way, it is the 2002 version. Kayako from The Grudge, Michael Myers, Grace from Ready or Not, The Creep, Chucky from Child's Play, Pennywise, American artist Andy Warhol. I almost said American Werewolf in London. Please don't note that. But anyways, the Grady twins from The Shining, Freddy Krueger, the Wolf Mask from Creep, Sherry from Stab 6, and Italian American actress and model Julia Fox.
They literally threw almost every single
Well-
horror character into this.
Well, there is one that I do see that you missed.
What?
There is someone dressed as Wednesday.
Oh yeah. This one's talking about the subway. I think that was in the party scene, right?
Was this the party scene?
No, because this one's talking about the subway.
Oh, okay, the subway.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I remember seeing that in the party scene. Yeah, there was somebody dressed as
yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love it.
So now, if they ever do a Scream movie set during Christmas, we gotta have somebody dressed in a blue sweater, walking around with a garbage can.
Oh my gosh.
Garbage day.
Garbage day. Which, by the way, we never got around to doing the episode.
Oh yeah. We never did an episode on Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. So we gotta fix that.
Yeah.
Gotta fix that. That's a situation that needs to be
Anyways,
rectified
that was all of our
immediately.
great robbing facts. Yay.
All right, so back to our regularly scheduled programming. And we are back from our grave robbing facts, continuing our discussion and review on Scream 6. So we've talked about our favorite characters, our favorite scenes, and our favorite kills. Now we gotta talk about some stuff that maybe we didn't really enjoy so much in this film. Because not every movie's perfect, there's always gonna be some stuff that could have been done better or didn't need to be in the movie. But for me personally, I would have to say the whole thing with Chad not dying at first bothered me. I hated that he didn't die.
Same here.
And again, the same thing with the red herring deaths. Where there's a lot of characters that you think are dead and they're really not. Especially somebody like Gail, where that looks like a life-ending injury. Like that should have killed her, but she's still alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. I think that was like honestly one of my bigger issues. That, and when it came to the actual Ghostface reveal, outside of Officer, what was his name, Kyle?
Dermot.
Outside of
Dermot.
Officer Dermot, the other two, like Quinn and Ethan, were just kind of there. They weren't weren't as like impactful as Officer Dermot was.
Quinn was cool because of the
fake death.
You're like, wow, she didn't die. That's cool.
Yeah, but Ethan was just like
Ethan, not good.
was just disappointing.
Here we
Not a fan
go.
of Ethan.
Yusuf and I are actually on the same page for once. Here we go.
This never
My
happens.
2 cents. The movie was great. Sam turning into fucking Billy Loomis's daughter, like the actual bullshit, like fucking like Ghostface was the shit. I was like, this is what I paid for. I wanted this soul of revenge and the fucking overtaking of just, let your sinful nature take over. It's all good. We love blood and gore. We love a good revenge story. But here is like what Yussef said. But I'm probably going to make it worse. I did not feel... So, not Billy Loomis. I forget the guy. What's the boyfriend's name? Richie. So Richie goes out with Sam.
Yeah, it's Richie's family. Or Ghostface.
So Richie's families know that he's really into horror films, really into stab, all this other bullshit. Because he dated Sam, you would think at some point in their relationship, I'm not saying if it was a fling or whatever bullshit, that he would have introduced Sam to his family. Why wouldn't Sam have recognized them? Or other words, if he would introduce the other girlfriend, why didn't they know about Sam? That's the thing that doesn't fucking line up. Because I'm like,
Sam and Richie weren't together for that long. It was kind of like a quick thing that Richie had to immediately get in and infiltrate to lure her back to Woodsboro.
And not only that, not to mention that it was all up in that's in California.
Yeah,
and they live. His family. His family lives in New York, so I don't think they would have taken that trip all the way down to New York just to meet his family yet.
Yeah, but even if their relationship was so insignificant for a bigger plot, I don't think it should have made a bigger impact on the family the way it did. I'm like, what does the dad care? I feel like it should have been just Richie's story, and we should have been either should have been someone within the group, or should have been like something not within the group, but like someone that was obviously unexpected. When I got those reveals, I'm like, I don't care about them. Like what, like
Well,
they get what they could deserve. But I feel like it was very anticlimactic. Like, why would the dad all of a sudden care? Why would the sister care? The sister was like
it's
the most annoying. I was like,
it's the same way with Scream 2. It was pretty much Scream 2.
Yeah,
It was
because it was
Billy's mom.
Billy's
It
mom.
was Richie's dad and his sister and brother.
but the thing is, like, but I feel
And
like
you
Billy's
also
mom had the motive because there was a cheating, there was an affair. I
But
get
she
that.
still was she was still going after Sydney because she killed Billy.
Her whole motive was Sydney killed Billy.
So it's the same motive.
It's the same exact motive.
Yeah. So now Richie's
Yeah.
dad is going after Sam because Sam killed Richie.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
And-
probably the most. I thought it was
Well-
cool to have 3 Ghostface,
Well,
but that shit was like whack as
the
fuck.
original motive got changed. I wish they would have stuck with it. The original motive, what they were going to be doing was it was going to be the same reveal and everything, Richie's family, except for the reason that they were trying to kill Sam was not because she killed Richie. Well, it was because she killed Richie, but because they didn't think Richie was Ghostface, they thought Sam was Ghostface. It brought into the whole theory
The
that
whole
Sam
character
did the
assassination on her.
original killings.
See, that I would have liked better as the plot. I don't think it should have been like, oh, how about the family? I'm like, at that point, that's just dumb. That's just really poor writing. And I mean, other than like obviously the whole archive, I feel like somebody close to Richie should have put those things out there that worked in the police force, but we were introduced to 2 other characters, which is Quinn and their brother, that we just don't care for. They were just there for like, just for the, hey, I'm here, but kind of, like the stereotypical horror slut. Then there's the I was like, I'm the new guy, I'm just gonna stick around, and then like his presence is practically non-existent other for the sheer reveal. But that's just my 2 cents. Other than that, the movie was great. I enjoyed everything about it. It was especially Sam fucking breaking loose, breaking shit, and I'm like, great, this is
Besides
great.
Ethan, like I like the reveals, and I loved Officer Dermott, and I especially loved how he like kind of like, yeah, it's me. He didn't even like try, and he was like, yeah, it's me. He like didn't even try, and like he didn't really care at all.
Yeah.
It was like, but and I was happy they did whole Richie's family. That was kind of cool, and it shows that Richie played a way bigger impact than you thought he did in 5, because it was also revealed that Richie set up that whole shrine. That was everything he collected over the years.
And not to mention too that it was also Richie's family that were doing the character assassination on Sam after the fact too. It was like they're the ones that were kind of starting it.
Yeah, because y'all thought that Sam.
Because even I think it was Quinn who says it. It's like it's not enough to just kill somebody anymore. You have to assassinate their character too.
Assassinate the character, yeah.
So like I like that they were part of that too. Like they were the reason that people were turning against Sam.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was like a little bit more psychological on that, and instead of just like going up and killing her.
Yeah.
I just feel like there just should have been just a bigger impact with the family. Like they should have shown how close they were with Richie. Like there had to be some.
They did.
That was the shrine, because his dad literally got him all this up in the shrine.
It's just like,
okay, the brother and sister weren't really. You couldn't tell that they were like that close to Richie, but you can tell his dad and Richie were close because of like the way that, like everything in the shrine was all police evidence that he got for Richie. Yeah, because he knew Richie was such a fan of that, so he's like, I'm gonna get this for my son because it makes him happy. Yeah, and like you can tell that he supported Richie, and like
obviously the neglected child. We see that.
Because you can tell he supported Richie, and like even like at that little bit when they do the reveal when they're playing Richie's like fan films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is literally one of the best things ever when they do Red Right Hand in the fan film, and as they're leaving the shrine, it says a film by Richie Kirsch.
Yeah.
It's so great, but yeah, the probably not the characters you really wanted to be Ghostface, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
I liked Officer Dermott. I thought he was
Yeah, I thought
great.
in terms of being the Ghostface, he was the best one.
Yeah,
Because
it
yeah,
was
Quinn and
believable
Ethan
too.
were just kind of just like follow the leader type thing. It wasn't like they had like any independent thought other than do what Dad told us to do.
I
Yeah.
know that
The
the
only
only
thing
thing I will say
the
is
only thing that was kind of weird was the fact that whenever they're up top in the theater and Sam is about to Officer Dermott has the gun on Sam, and then she runs and tackles him off of the theater. Why didn't he fucking shoot her?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
like he had bullets. We saw that.
Yeah. And you can't say, oh, he was just like he just wasn't expecting him to do that. But it's like, dude's a cop. He's got
Yeah.
training for that kind of stuff. Like he would have just shot in a second.
Uh, we get the weird. So it was a very cringe moment, but then it led to a really awesome moment where Kara's hanging off the balcony and she's looking at Sam, and it's
Mm.
that scene we see in the trailer, but it's kind of reversed. They tricked us where she's telling her to let go, and she slips her the knife so that when she drops, she can stab Ethan.
Yeah.
But Ethan has that cringe ass line where he's like, "Come on, Tara." He's like trying to stab her with. He's like, "I've always wanted to stick something in you." I'm like, "Oh God, you fucking cringe lord." And he got what he fucking
He
deserved.
died a virgin.
He did. I loved it. That was so great. He's like, "You're gonna die a fucking virgin." And then they all fall off, and I can't believe the other ones went along with this whole Dermont's knocked out. Sam's gonna go get dressed up as Ghostface, and then they're gonna call him and fuck with them.
that was great.
It's like as much as we clapped and loved that moment, and is a really special moment for Sam. You know that they probably was kind of like, oh, that's I don't know. We need to keep our eye on her. That's a little fucked up.
I was like,
She wants to go through all this.
Yeah, so you really didn't need
I'm
to
kind
dress
of
up as
weirdly getting a
Ghostface.
hard on, but okay.
It's like you really
Yeah.
didn't need to dress up as Ghostface. You could have just killed Officer Dermott, but you went for
Oh,
theatrics.
man, dude. Sam with the fucking police costume and mask.
Yep.
Best thing ever.
I will say one of the things that we didn't even mention that I thought was really cool too, whenever Ghostface would call either Sam or Tara, it was from Richie's phone because the caller ID would say Richie.
Yeah, it says Richie. Yep.
Which at the same time is kind of weird because I'm like,
technically, yeah, Richie made a
yeah,
cameo.
but at the same time I'm like, why hasn't Sam deleted that contact from her phone? It's been a year.
Maybe she's I don't know.
She still has Richie on caller ID. It's like
I don't
maybe
know.
I'll
Maybe
text
she just
him.
hadn't upgraded or something.
I thought that was.
But
I
she
just
didn't
thought that was funny. It's like, why
think
would you
about
keep that in your contacts
deleting
for a
the
whole year?
contact. Yeah.
His knife was good.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Stop!
Oh my god.
No!
Oh my
No!
god.
No!
Well, I don't know. You heard what Sam said because not only did they, fucking kill Richie's family, before they do, Sam likes to kind of uh, really insult, really put salt in the wound here, where Officer Dermott's talking about Richie, and she's talking about what a limp dick fuck he
Oh
was.
yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
So yeah, well, he was a limp dick fuck. What a fun
Sam's a
time.
fucking badass dude.
She really
This
is.
where Tara was my favorite in Scream 5, Sam has absolutely surpassed her and become my favorite
In Scream
in
6.
Scream 6. Yeah.
Um,
Like I
Ooh.
said, I really want her to be Ghostface because
I'm really hoping that it does end up
besides the
being
awesome
that.
kill as the Ghostface,
Give into that darkness, girl.
As we're ending, she holds on to the mask, and even though she drops it, still lingers on that.
Yeah.
So
I'm just like, come on, give into the dark. Listen to your
Yep.
father.
Yep.
Team Loomis.
Give me more
Yeah.
Ulrich
Uh,
screen time. Come on, Sam.
I love how when they do the reveal, Hermont does the whole three, and he says here three, uh, uh, her grandmother, Mrs. Loomis, and he's like two, Stumacher, and he pulls out his one, your dad,
Yeah.
Loomis, and because he's like giving them all the mask and telling which killer had each what mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that they did that. It was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
And we
this movie was
figured that
fun.
we called it that the cool mask we saw in the trailer was Billy Loomis.
Yeah, I figured it was either going to be
Knew it would
Billy or
be.
Stu's. 'Cause, yeah,
It'd be
the way
Billy
it
or
was
Stu.
aged up, we were like, it's got to be one of the original masks.
Yep.
Especially when we were like, can it play? Are they going to bring Stu back? And maybe it's Stu, and it's just his mask again. But alas,
There's still
no
hope.
Stu for
There's
us.
still hope for 7. There's still hope for 7.
Just it's just Scream 7. It's just the poster is just everybody's face has been photoshopped out, and it's just Matthew Lillard's face on everybody.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's still no Matthew Lillard. It's just that and the poster.
Like, and even in that one, they give us a little tease that Stu is still alive. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
And then the trailer is just a deep fake if everybody has Matthew Lillard's face on it too.
Yeah.
It's just everything is Matthew Lillard.
I love the whole Reddit scene in the movie where they had like a whole subreddit about
Oh,
how
yeah.
Sam was the original Ghostface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But-
So, what are our
so-
final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I mean, this movie's great. It's a lot of fun. I loved all the little Easter eggs and callbacks to the originals.
Absolutely.
These outside of the little like issues with the reveal of the Ghostface sis in this case.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any other issues. This one's a solid 8 out of 10 for me.
Oh, see, See, just about everything, reiterate everything Yussef said. I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I don't have many gripes about this movie at all. I fucking love this movie. It absolutely exceeded my expectations for it. Really want Sam to be Ghostface. A radio silence. It's just fucking doing love letters to fans with these films, but do have some bad news possibly. So I like to keep my know everything about there is to know about Scream. Rumor going around is the reason that they haven't announced Scream 7 yet, because obviously for those who don't know, this actually has surpassed in box office. Like, it's broken so many records. It absolutely exceeded box office records. Reason they haven't announced Scream 7 is because there is a rumor that Radio Silence may not be returning for Scream 7 because they're doing other movies. That they're doing Escape from New York, and they're supposed to be doing a unnamed Universal movie that originally the original title was Dracula's Daughter.
Oh yeah. I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
They're doing that. And
I didn't know they were working on Escape from New York.
Escape from New York, yeah.
I kind of don't want them to though, just because like Escape from New York is already a perfect movie. So I'm like, you don't need to remake it.
Yeah, but they're doing that, and Paramount apparently wants to go ahead and they want to get the movie filming as early as October this year. They want it filmed this year and to release it next year. Because I mean, this one did good by being filmed immediately. So they want to go ahead and do it, but Radio Silence may not be able to return, so they're going to have to look for something else. Which I'm kind of scared over, but recently, here's what the Scream fandom has found out. Christopher Landon, the guy who done Freaky and Happy Death Day, the director, he recently started following all the Screamcast. And people think that maybe Christopher Landon's going to be doing Scream 7.
Interesting.
I would be okay with Christopher Landon doing Scream 7. I like him, and I think he would also bring back a little bit of a... Well, he didn't do too much comedy into it,
Yeah,
He
because
can
like
still
it
have
was. I feel
some
like
of his comedy.
6 was a
Yeah.
little bit more of a serious movie. I think if
Oh, it
if
was very
if he ends up doing
serious.
7, I think he's gonna throw in a little bit more of the meta humor in there.
Yeah. And
Right.
honestly, with the way that the franchise is going, how it's mirroring the original trilogy, uh, I think 7 could take place in Hollywood again. But here's something you didn't think about. This movie is literally, if this happens, this trilogy is literally mirroring the original trilogy by complete accident in all the ways, because in Scream 3, that was not written by Kevin Williamson. He didn't return for that one. He came.
Hmm.
Somebody else wrote Scream 3, so this would literally be
The
Radio
same thing that
Silence
happened in Scream 3
leaving
is Scream Sleeping and then
and
Kevin
a new
Landon.
director doing this one.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Oh,
Interesting. But yeah. So V, what's your ranking on this?
My
What's your
ranking
score?
is 7.5 out of 10 tombstones. Everything was perfect about it. Just wish the reveal was better. That's all.
Knocked out some big points with that review, huh?
Yeah.
damn you.
Deduct it hard, bro.
I mean,
That's
it's
it.
what it is. What it is. It's what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our discussion on Scream 6. I know this one was kind of a longer episode because we had to catch up on some of the news that were coming around. We did the spec map, and now we have to do the Scream 6 review. So I know it's a longer one. The next one's not going to be as long, we promise. Um, but before we leave, we got to do our basic housekeeping. So whichever one of us wants to start, or V or Kyle.
So I am on Twitter as Kyle S. Prescott, and I pretty much just post about horror, wrestling,
And Motionless and White.
emotionless and why. Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, V?
You guys can find me at HHN Poultice on both Twitter and or YouTube. I am currently trying, I feel like I say this every episode, trying to get back into the YouTube groove, but my blood has been peaking. It's just the time and the more amount of money that Premiere costs. But since I get that ball rolling, at the same time, I have been getting motivated by other people saying that they really do miss my content and whatnot. So I'm gonna try and get back in the groove of things and try to not do too much. Do a little bit of something of a nice length so I don't keep you guys bored and you guys are entertained still with the content. But either way, trying to get that creative juices flowing, but also I know that you guys are already following me on my personal account on Instagram under V Villain. It is a private account, but of course, if I recognize your account, I will gladly follow you back, and you guys can see something more about my personal life. I post just about everything, especially ghost. I'm a ghost whore, but other than that, we have other more interesting people on the podcast. But I guess I guess I can name drop him as Yussef, some weirdo under Yussef 1220. I don't know, on
That's
Instagram. Have you heard of him? So
yeah, that's my Instagram. It's Yussef1220. You can find me. I'm usually on Twitter most often. You can find me on Twitter at itbeyusef, where as everybody knows, I post the stupidest shit ever because I'm easily bored.
ladies, he's single. Please take,
Like
please.
one of my last tweets was one of my favorite tweets. It was "For whom the Taco Bell tolls,"
Yes.
because it's funny. Um, and then after that, I'm also we're also the podcast itself. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and Slasher as Sounds from the Grave, and we're also on YouTube and Anchor, Apple Podcast, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can listen to podcasts. We're out there. And outside of that, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can always send us a message on either our personal Twitters or Instagrams, or on our podcast Twitter or anything like that. And if you want to give us suggestions on stuff we could cover, or if you want to talk about being on the podcast, by all means. But that's really all we have. So again, thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you for being patient on our unplanned hiatus. Promise we'll try to be a little bit more consistent with our content as we keep trying to figure out our schedules and everything. But we really hope you enjoyed the episode and that you have a good day or good night whenever you're listening to this, and that you stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
Mommy's with the maggots now.